What up?
Oh, Sammy. How you feeling?
It's good to be back, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know, get back with the guys. It's been electric, seeing the new guys, and just getting back into it. It's a good feeling.
How nice is? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, can you see this defense taking a step, and what tells you that it can?
Absolutely. I think that just having the same guys being back, we just have better chemistry. Also, as well as having the same coaching staff. I think guys are understanding the defense a lot more, so it's going to allow us to make a lot more plays.
Julian, where have you seen Nick's growth over the last couple of years?
I would say verbally and just understanding of football as a whole. You come here as a rookie and you just try to learn your job. I think it's getting to the point where he starts to understand everything, just how to fit every piece of the puzzle together. So he's doing a really great job.
They were talking about how for Anthony they can sense a difference in the way he's prepared. Is it the same way for you with the young corners? The guys who were rookies last year?
Absolutely. Like those guys, man, they're very talented. I'm not really worried about the corners. If I see them impressed, I don't got to worry about them just because they're just competitors, man. Those guys make plays, and they did that last year. So I'm excited to see the next step for those guys.
What's the next step for you, I guess, as you coming off arguably the best year of your career?
Man, I think just consistency, man. Just trying to ultimately grow even more as much as I can. You never got it. That's what Coach always says, and I agree with that. So for me, I think the next thing is just understanding what else I can do, like what more can I do, and where can I put myself in better situations to make even more plays.
I know there was a situation where I wasn't 100% sure you were going to be back here this year. That being said, and knowing what you guys did last year, how excited are you to have the opportunity to be able to work with this group of guys to prove more to the league how good you guys could be?
Man, I'm so excited. I'm glad everything got to work out. I love this organization. I love the community. And so I love the guys, man. Like, these guys are my best friends. And so it was easy for me to come back. When you get to the business part of it, I spoke on this earlier, you start to see what it really is, but you try to enjoy it as well. So,
Julian, go ahead.
How different is it for Juju this year, being out here this time of year? I mean, you kind of have the same thing as a rookie where you're not able to practice a lot in the spring. How different is year two?
It makes a big difference being out here in OTAs, just because you get more of an understanding going into training camp. You kind of get a good grounding where you can start, and then in training camp you try to build upon that. So I think it's really good for him to be out here. He can only go up from here as long as he takes those steps that he needs to.
Julian, do you have any opinion one way or the other about potentially changing the schedule of the offseason like the NFLPA would like to do, where you get the, longer break and all that?
Man, I haven't looked too much into that right now, so I don't really have an opinion.
Julian, it's really such a young position group behind yourself and Kenny. When did you realize that you've now become one of the elder statesmen, one of the more veteran guys behind Kenny Moore?
I think it was probably last year when the rookies just started asking me a lot of questions. I'm like, why are they asking me all these questions? They were like, who else am I going to ask? I'm like, that's true. Well, you should probably do this. So I think it was just that because, a lot of us, we're all the same age. So I just forget that I've been here just a little bit longer. COVID kind of made things different. So it's still fun, though. Everybody gets along really well. And I'm glad that they can come to me and trust me with telling them what to do. So.
Your leadership style is probably just, by example then, I think.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you see me out there, I'll talk, but that's just trying to energize up to guys. Like, I'm just talking to the talk. Ain't nobody listening to that. But for the most part, I'd rather just do it correctly so that those guys can see what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
Couple more guys?
Shane did mention, though, you are the kind of the quarterback of that defense. So how much pride do you take in that? And I guess what's the balance of being naturally a lead by example guy, but forcing yourself to obviously be vocal?
I think that's just the next step that you have to take in order to be a leader, on a team or regardless of what you do. I think it's being more vocal, being vulnerable, and just being willing to take that step. And I was willing, and also these guys, they told me that they respect the fact that I will talk to them and it helps them. Everybody's better when everybody's talking and knows what they're doing. When there's uncertainty, that's when guys start to question themselves. So it just helps out a lot.
Do you consider yourself a leader, a natural leader? Some guys aren't.
Yeah, I would say I'm a natural leader, but we all lead in different ways, you know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how you lead.